Commentating on commentating. When people ask me what I do, my go-to response is professional wrestling ring announcer, and more often than not, the immediate response is a Michael Buffer impression of questionable quality in order to clarify their understanding of the term. But the reality is that as I head towards my 7th year in this wonderful and peculiar business that we all love, is that ring announcing is actually a rarity for me these days. It's just the most understandable, close approximation that I can think of that would make a layperson understand. More often than not, if I have a gig now, it is a commentary gig. It's not something that I particularly played for, as I love doing both ring announcing and commentary, and backstage interviewing and managing. It's just the path that my career in British wrestling has presented to me more recently. Bad commentary, just like ring announcing or reffing, can and will ruin a match. Good commentary, just like ring announcing or reffing, can enhance a match. Commentary helps to explain things to the people watching and complement the entertainment. It's not there to take over or impede what people are watching. When people ask me for advice on commentating, there are a few go-tos that I will always mention. It's basically a few things that you may not think about until it's too late. I was a scout growing up, and I'm a scout leader now, and their motto is, as relevant as it always was: be prepared. First up, here's a challenge. Come up with an exclamation, that's a noun, which is a sudden cry or remark expressing surprise, strong emotion or pain. Come up with an exclamation that isn't swearing, blasphemy, camp, or already used by a wrestling commentator. Personally, I use "good grief!" I did trial "heavens to Murgatroyd" at one point, but as you would probably guess, it didn't work. An effective exclamation is vital because a lot of stuff in wrestling is supposed to shock, surprise, or evoke emotion from the fans, and in turn, obviously, the commentary team. Holy shit! Is deliciously emotive on an over-18 show, and, as intended, it legitimately shocked fans the first time I did use it on an HXC show after doing family-friendly, profanity-free commentary for so long. But the majority of shows are family-friendly, and as such, an effective exclamation is vital. Quite possibly the biggest commentary cliché of all time is Vince McMahon's immortal line, "What a maneuver!" Obviously, it was Vince's go-to line for a wrestling move that he either didn't know the name of or couldn't remember the name of. You can have the best memory in the world and an encyclopedic knowledge of all of wrestling, but unless you're fortunate enough to have an eidetic memory, which according to Google is 0.02% of the world's population, you'll forget something behind the commentary booth. Embracing your own fallibility and preparing for it with your own "what a maneuver" is the action of a wise commentator. Personally, I plumped for "did you see that?" insert commentary partner's name. Something that both commentators and wrestlers can be guilty of is not talking to each other. How can a commentator know exactly what a wrestler or promoter wants pushing if he hasn't discussed it with them first? I believe it's the commentator's responsibility to engage with every member of the roster and ensure they understand each and every gimmick and storyline going on in the promotion. Spending time with every roster member, particularly if it's their debut, to find out what makes their wrestler look good. As a fringe benefit, it also makes the commentator look knowledgeable. One of the hardest things on commentary is finding a way to put over the heels as dastardly without burying them. It's too easy to criticise a heel heavily and make them look weak doing so. A commentator needs to carefully think about how he can emphasise that a rule breaker is a rule breaker, yet make him look good. Something that I use is, the thing about, insert character name, is that he genuinely enjoys cheating. He could probably still win matches without cheating, but he does it anyway. It's fine to say that a heel is a horrible person, but it's not okay to suggest that they're an inferior wrestler. Not only does that bury the heel, it buries the babyface as well. A babyface that defeats someone that it's been established isn't any good hasn't achieved anything at all. I said it about ring announcing in a previous column, but the same rings true here. With great commentary comes great responsibility. Wrestlers risk their neck every time they get in the ring, and it's the commentator's job to put them over and make them look good. All it needs is enthusiasm, commitment, and a bit of preparation.